Enjoying the ball? We missed you at dinner. I thought I told you I needed you here. We had an ambassador from Miram. I'm sure you would have liked to meet him. I had to do all the political chat with him, and I don't like to do this on my own. It's always important business with you mages. Where were you? Really? And this sickness suddenly disappeared right before the ball, correct? Fine. Don't tell me where you were. I don't care. But next time, don't leave me alone in a room full of sharks for such a long time. I need you now. I need you to tell me which alliance I have to make. Who are my friends? And who are my enemies here? My poor father tried his best to teach me before he died, but it didn't really stick with me. I was never the obedient child, unfortunately. I do regret it now, especially now that my mother is sick. I need to handle this the right way. I'm the only one left who can lead this realm. Just look at them. They look at me as if I was a piece of meat. All those suitors, waiting to steal my youth and the wealth of my kingdom. Tell me, mage, what should I do with them? Entertain them? And why would I do that? That's interesting and smart. If I don't choose a suitor yet, they'll all think they have their chances, and they'll offer me anything. Well, I'm obviously not the smartest, but I'm glad I'm at least surrounded with good advisors like you. Come, let's have a drink. I bought some wonderful wine from the vines of Rudas. Cost me a fortune just to get it here. But at least everyone is having a good time. I would too, if my mind wasn't as troubled. I would gladly talk about it with you. I need your advices. With my father gone and my mother's sickness, I have to take care of the realms, and things have been hectic. Here, have a taste of this. What do you think? It is a very particular wine. The vines of Rudas are surrounded by volcanoes. That's why the wine is so strong, almost smoked. Enjoy. Now, let me tell you what a messenger came to say this morning. I wasn't even dressed, and they already came with bad news. Our mines in the west have been attacked again by those pestilence of petalist mercenaries. They want what we have, of course. Our precious earth stones, coveted by every realms around us. But I don't have the army to defend it. I don't know what my father's plan was before he died, but it wasn't a really good one, was it? How are we supposed to protect our resources with no men, no army? This is ridiculous. Well, my dear, that is why I need you. Which suitor should I choose to make my realm safer from Petalis? There's quite a sample of suitors here. I'm sure we can find the one. How about the Tornesian's land's queen? She's a beauty. I wouldn't mind sitting at her side. Why not? Of course. The Tornesian lands are guided by the Feather Guild. They won't accept to protect us against Petalis. Any other ideas? The King of Allin? But he's just lost his wife to that rushing flu that's been killing hundreds of people. He won't be looking for another one for a few months at least. And I heard he lost his mage advisor as well. Do you know who will replace him? Do tell me when you know. I'd like to be aware of the guild that takes on this position. The mage advising this king will be quite powerful. What would I get from an alliance with Allin? Well, of course, I know that. Allin always had a quarrel with Petalis, but you think they might go to war against them? A simple quarrel is not good enough motive to take on such a big country and a big army. What else does Allin want? The access to the Elysian port. The one in the Ocean of Lavadus. That makes sense. Whoever has access to this port becomes instantly master of all exchanges from the Massalan Isles and the continent. All this conversation are giving me a headache. Or is it the wine? Let me summarize all of this. My country, Bensodam, is being attacked in the east by Petalis, who has eyes on our precious earthstones. And Allin has eyes on the Elysian port, door to all exchanges with the realms of the east. The port is in Petalis, and Allin is ready to go to war to have it. So if I marry the king of Allin, and they conquer Petalis, my country is safe from other attacks. That makes sense. And with my money and resources, the king of Allin might just accept to marry me. Unfortunately, out of all the suitors here, the king of Allin isn't there. He must be mourning his wife. I'll have to send a message tomorrow. Too bad the one I have to marry isn't as handsome as the king of Rhodes, or as elegant as the queen of Emery. Well, this will have to do, I guess. I have to say, I would have loved to meet you sooner. You know, if it was just me, I would have chosen a mage advisor from the Guild of Lights or the Guild of Feathers, because I know they are much more compliant. They do what we tell them to do, unlike members of your guild, the Guild of Iron, known for their temper. Or the Guild of Rain, but they're just strange and a little bit scary. I wouldn't be comfortable with one of them around me. I heard they could read minds. But you... I could get used to having you around. Are you enjoying the wine? I find it marvelous. Have some more. Tell me, why do your guilds hate each other so much? Is it true you take the oath of never speaking to a mage of another guild if it's not in an official meeting? And is this why you wear all different colors? So you can recognize each other in a guild? I see. And what about this mutual hatred? What's the story behind it? Oh, fine. If you want to give me a lesson, I'm listening. It will be more interesting than those boring suitors, for sure. Oh, wait. Let me tell you what I already know about mages. You won't have to explain everything. So, there are 4 guilds of mages in the 1,000 Kingdoms, right? The first one is the Guild of Iron, the Analysts, for kings and queens led by ambition and conquest. I believe you are advising more than 300 realms, making you one of the most powerful guilds. Which might explain why our continent is in a dire situation. Wars and quarrels and coup. No one is really safe. But I believe you quite like it. Then there's the Guild of Feathers, the Sentinels, defender of the peace. The second most powerful guild, thank goodness. Perfect for a realm that wants its people to feel safe and to prosper. Then there's the Guild of Lights, the diplomats. They won't advise anything that could lead to war, and they are always up for an alliance. Some people call them weak. And I have to admit, I don't think they are wrong. But sometimes having an obedient advisor is better, especially for the strong-minded kings and queens. I heard members of your guild are sometimes imprisoned or even killed because they dared to suggest something that was just too much. And finally, the Guild of Rain. The explorers. I don't think they care much about international problematics or even politics. They sometimes question the universe, discover new metals, and I find them very boring. And to be honest, I'm not sure they are quite useful to a realm. Really? Why? That's interesting. Maybe you're right. Progress is a good thing sometimes. I still wouldn't take a mage from the Guild of Rain as my advisor. They have that kind of powers? That's impressive. So when you say mind control, they can make anyone do anything? And what kind of powers do you have again? Strength and telekinesis. That's as good, I guess. So, how did I do? Good. I'm not that ignorant. Even though I believe it is quite ridiculous. As if we only needed one of the 4 guilds to lead a kingdom. It's much more complex than that. If I could, I'd have an advisor from every guild. But you are way too expensive, unfortunately. In any case, you still didn't tell me why you mages hate each other so much. So it's all a question of power. If your guild rises, the others fall down. Some kind of a race between you. Which guild will have the more kingdoms under its wing? Why don't you all become one guild then? Is it too naive to think like this? I see I'm not the only one suffering from rules our ancestors made thousands of years ago. I really needed that chat after today. Sometimes I feel like those responsibilities are just a tiny bit too much for me. But you've managed to reassure me. Thank you, mage. I didn't get the chance to ask you how your day was. That's good. And do you have anyone special in your life? Really? Who is she? Oh, no one. I hope you don't tell her that. You're quite secret, you know. Well, that makes you quite charming, to be honest. In any case, the Queen of Ellipsa has been looking at you all night. If I were you, I would make a move on her. She's quite a beauty. Oh, you prefer her advisor? Oh, the maid from the Guild of Feathers. Too bad you can't talk to her. Such stupid rules, don't you think? She's right there and you're right here. That makes me think. Do you mages do telepathy? Talking in another person's mind. I was always fascinated by this. No? That is sad. And is there a way for you to learn, or is it just impossible? Too bad. Maybe you could have told me what the King of Rudas is thinking of. He's so handsome. And that queen over there. Oh, why must I marry the king of Orlin? Such a shame, really. Well, I'll get used to the idea. Now, would you be kind enough to dance with me? You can't refuse a princess, can you?